Okay, guys, so it seemed to work. My influence once again, Thorzain, has got us into the game.
I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know how I do it either, to be honest. But we're in the lobby, and players are just getting ready to go. Evidently, there was a little bit of an issue with Nony's monitor.
Yeah.
For those of you that are new to StarCraft and may not be aware, of course, Liquid Nony, the original name of Liquid Tyler. So switching back to Liquid Nony, which, you know what, might be like a jersey kind of thing, like, you know, switching back to your old number maybe. So Tyler just getting ready now, getting some of his issues with his monitor resolved. And as soon as tech is on the way right now to go ahead and help that. And that's one of the great things about MLG is the fact that you know, MLG is so quick to respond to these types of things. If there's an issue with a monitor, if there's an issue with a keyboard, a table, they have extra staff on hand to deal with this to make sure the players have optimal conditions for when they're playing.
Also, loneliness, depression, overexcitement, all these things that MLG
Overexcitement, a common issue.
Yeah, a common issue. Yeah,
for sure. Did you guys see Thorzain today? I mean, look at this guy. He's a picture of just sartorial splendor. The guy looks just adorable.
Well, actually, this shirt was bought for me by Silence. Actually, he just bought it for me out of his own goodwill.
That's, I mean, you know what? And Robin bought me breakfast too.
Wow.
So big shout out to Robin actually casting over on gameplay
he never bought me breakfast, even after the night we spent together. Well,
okay. Way to keep it awkward, Thorzain. So not exactly sure how to segue out of that. It's difficult to really talk about play, but so actually both players right now chatting it up, having a great time in chat. Unfortunately, we respect the privacy of the player, so you're not able to see it. But trust me when I tell you, both players having great banter back and forth. But make no mistake, Thorzain wants this win, as well as Nony.
It's they're about to get into the zone, and actually, when I prepare for a game, or a lot of people prepare for the game, Tyler especially, or Nony rather, is one of those public players that just love to focus. He even says it, you know, before a match, he doesn't want to be disturbed, doesn't want to be talked to. The only person that talks to him is Lindsay, his wife, and he's a huge focus player. You could just tell that. Even walking around, I saw him in the venue earlier yesterday, and he was just absolutely focused.
You know, if I can add to that a little bit, I think he would really excel at a winter, or not, doesn't have to be winter, but at an MLG arena.
Yep.
Exactly. You knew where I was going with this. Because at Arena, it's sort of, it's different. Let's put it that way, right? Because there's no crowd there. It's just the players, and that is, I love to feed off the energy of the crowd, and the players do too. But also, in that setting, in that intimate setting, I feel, in a selfish way, so happy because it's just you and the players.
Yeah.
So that's quite amazing. You know, watching Marine King win that. And he was so focused, he didn't even know he won. Yeah. There was no crowd reaction. He was like, okay, I'm ready for the next game. You know, he was ready to go. And finally, the ref came over and congratulated him. And the look on his face was priceless. I mean, I, for one, was so happy.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable because, you know, Marine King was labeled, you know, there was a Brood War player named Yellow who was known for getting second place a lot.
King of Silver.
Absolutely, King of Silver. So a lot of people were starting to say Marine King was starting to take on that moniker. But as we can see, winning, obviously, Winter Arena as well, doing very, very well here in this tournament. So another phenomenal Terran. Just getting ready now. I'm not on.
We have to ask if they're ready or.
Okay.
I think they're waiting for us to signify they're ready. But real quick, let's give a shout out to the Snibble Saloon Barcraft in Thorzain Upton Time. And I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but guys, in general, Barcraft is an unbelievable experience. It's just a great way to socialize. It's a great way to meet other people who are interested in StarCraft. Check it out on Team Liquid. If they register under Barcraft, there's an entire section dedicated to it. And actually, I did a presentation on esports to my entire college for foreign students came to watch, and I talked about Barcraft, and half the students didn't believe me. And then I showed them that it's over 200 locations worldwide, spanning across North America and Europe, the most prevalent. Barcraft's very real, and it's probably right next to you.
Of course, part of the reason they didn't believe you is a lot of people don't know this. Thorzain attending the Pittsburgh Diesel Institute, where you can too learn how to drive a big rig. So, you know, maybe the wrong crowd to pitch to there. Not sure. But anyway, getting into this game, you know what? Take away the announcements.
Well, over here in the top center, this is my trucker boss. We got a little fella here. His name is Mouse Esports Thorzain. Now, I never met a man who could spawn the top right, but I guess that's how we do it over here on Metalopolis. Here we spawn on buildings. Heck, last time I was top of the building, and I was chasing guys in suits and sunglasses. But we got here one Liquid Nony. Blue Protoss.
Froden, I adore you. Absolutely. That was a phenomenal trucker voice. Of course, Froden not attending that particular college. He is a West Coaster. So why don't you shout out your college while we're doing the intros here?
Thanks to University of California, San Diego, UCSD, we represent. And quick shout out also to the CSL. It's a collegiate star league where we basically compete at the college level. But hopefully one day a lot of those people aspire to be pros. So hopefully you can see that. But let's focus back directly onto this game.
Sure.
Tom, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on.
Absolutely. As you can see, nothing different out of Nony. Really, any Protoss opening is quite boring up until the point that we get that Psi Core down and we see really what starts to happen. But some of the things, of course, out of Protoss that you see, Double Forge upgrades, Colossus tech switch into High Templar with Storm, Archon Charge Lot. These are all things that really are very, very potent right now in the metagame in PvT. Now, Terran, however, have what I like to call sort of the Terran timer, where there's a window of opportunity early to inflict enough damage to slow that down, sometimes even win the game outright. And Thorzain, beautiful at executing, as you said, build orders and timing. So this map in particular could be tough, actually, for Nony to secure this natural here, as it is it's open to a lot of attack paths, of course, coming in from the third, or actually just, you know, straight down from the main or the natural of Thorzain. So
absolutely.
SCV going to get in here. Take
Now,
a look. 2 gas, though.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right about that. And 2 gas is actually really important for Nony, or sorry, for Thorzain to scout. Now, Thorzain did just place the command center down at his natural, so he is getting up for Gas's fast expand. And actually, something really important to note as well is the fact that Nony loves to be really safe, and we were saying that earlier, and it would not surprise me to see him go for some kind of really safe expansion, whether it be a robotics immediately or he or 3 gates before he does it. But at the same time, he's willing to also sometimes expand early as well. But would not be surprised to see him try to play a little bit more on the defensive side before committing to something, because he always talks about how he doesn't like playing in the dark and not being sure what Terran can do. And Thorzain is one of those players that if you're not prepared for, he can absolutely run over you.
Oh yeah, look at this. Proxy Pylon already laid down by Nony.
And the Twilight Council.
Yep, so that could definitely be a good indication of early aggression.
Huh, okay. Well, this is a map where Blink Stalkers is actually fantastic on, just because of how open the natural is. We can go ahead and look at Thorzain. You can see that there's a lot of room to rearrange, especially leaning more towards the statue. You can kind of hit each side, and there's a lot of room for the bunker to cover. And you know, Thorzain, that bunker is very strategic. It's close enough to hit anything that tries to run past it, as well as down the ramp leading to the third. So it's a very good placement of the bunker. But we'll see how effective if whether or not this Blink Stalkers will actually come into play here from Tyler.
No, absolutely.
Or Nony, rather. So it's going to take so long for me.
It really is. You know, it's one of those things that everybody has to get used to, including the fans as well. So, you know, my cousin, actually, Fabrizio, did graduate Pittsburgh Diesel Institute, and hit me up on Twitter and said that was a fantastic rendition. You have a phenomenal. He said you have a phenomenal CB voice. So if you ever get on the CB there, he'd love you to represent him.
Absolutely.
Take you on a trip once or twice. So that would be quite awesome. But so, okay, essentially this bunker right now is such a great decision, I feel, out of Thorzain for every reason that you mentioned, plus the fact that, you know what, you can always get the money back for it. It's one of those things you could salvage. It's not a big deal. It keeps you extra safe against any early aggression. Small little Marine with single Marauder contingent here going to move out, try to gain a little bit of map control, scout exactly what's going on. And I have to note something. Note that, look, the probe on that watchtower right there. Now, he's going to take off. He went ahead and was able to go ahead, lay down that proxy pylon, kept vision. Nony doing a very good job being active on the map, and a good contingent here of Stalkers moving out.
Nony is expanding, though, and he is getting observers, so he can go for a lot of blink pressure, go in, snipe the tech lab. And if you can go for and snipe the tech lab and be able to really do a lot of damage in terms of just harass, you never know how much you can still out of control. The Stalkers could eventually just start piling up, and you don't have the ability to hold it off. But it all comes down to execution, because Thorzain opened up a lot more economically aggressive, and so he was able to really get
hold that thought,
units.
though. Here we go. Blink into the main, as you called it, Froden, and good what he's going for. Straight for that tech lab. Sometimes I want to call you Nostradamus. SEV's coming off the line now, and great micro, though, from these Stalkers just to inflict as much damage as possible. Big blink over the SCVs there, as Liquid Nony right now inflicting a lot of pain on Thorzain.
Yeah, unfortunately, he is going to lose these Stalkers. Well, at least lost the majority of them. Looks like Thorzain not trying to push out over to the edge of his base where he cannot see, but looks like Tyler, I think he lost 4 Stalkers for the change to stop Stim, and he was able, as a result, to really get a good scout of his opponent's base.
And was able to go ahead and secure. Remember, we were concerned initially, how is he going to go ahead, and I always want to see on this map, how does Protoss decide to go ahead and secure this natural? Because it can be difficult. It's a big contestation point where whether it's Zerg or Terran, they want to go ahead and make that the point of conflict. And as you can see right now, Thorzain wants to respond in kind and do just that.
He has 2 ghosts, though, so something really important to know. And Nony's actually evacuating his expansion immediately, realizing that that actually might not be the point where he wants to continue. He wants to wait for the Colossus, and he's going to use that Nexus to buy time. And that Nexus will drop extremely quickly, but will the Colossus come out in time? The timing might be really thin. Looks like Nony's moving down the ramp here.
He has to save it right now, Froden, if he's able to save it, and it gets down to halfway. Great timing there.
Wow.
By Nony to go ahead and know just when he can attack, but can he get this Colossus? Oh, Thorzain, great snipe on the Colossus. I don't know, Froden. Bad news.
That stings, and Nony knows it, and looks like Thorzain isn't done yet. He's moving up the ramp here, taking out some units, and now he's going to see if he can focus down the Nexus. And Nony is not happy about that. He lost his Colossus. He lost his economy, and there it is, GG.
So, you know, just as I was bringing it up there, I said, I'm always interested to see on Metalopolis exactly how they're going to go ahead and secure that natural. One good way to do it was to apply pressure and expand behind it with the Blink Stalkers. And normally, a lot of times, that would work against some Terrans. Not against Thorzain, though. Thorzain knows immediately. He said, okay, look, you lost a fair amount of Stalkers. I'm going to come with counter pressure here and see. And this is what we were talking about. There's a Terran timer where in the beginning of the game, they can inflict a lot of damage, slow down upgrades, sometimes even win the game outright. In this case, that's what we saw.
Yeah.
He won the game outright. So, but I like where, Nony's head was at there. I like the decision to blink. His micro was impeccable there initially. Did lose a couple of Stalkers in the exchange, but man, Thorzain, so tough.
Yeah. Thorzain was doing a fantastic job there, so we'll see whether or not Nony can come back in game number 2 and tie it up.